Hello, welcome to Game of Thrones The Ice Dragon Let's Talk. You've got myself, Apps, and Logan from the Dimp Digital team, and we're here to talk about Telltale's 6th and final episode of the Game of Thrones series. So let's crack on to do each of the characters' timelines like we have been doing for the last few. We've only got 3 in this final episode because at the end of the 5th episode we're forced to choose between Asher and Roderick. Unfortunately for the viewers and the listeners, we both chose Asher, so you're not going to get any different perspective from us on that. It's going to be the same people there, but we've got obviously Garrett, who is heading up to the North Grove, and then our least favourite, which is Mira. And let's kick off with Mira and get her out of the way, because it kicks off and Marjorie's bollocking Mira for multiple instances where she's gone behind her back essentially, and Sarah is there, and the main point of contention really seems to be that she let you into this fucking garden party and you made a scene with Lord Andros, which I'm not sure how that's bothering anyone at the fucking King's Landing, but Sarah did let you into there, and it looks like she's going to take the brunt of it. You've then got a chance to either throw her under the bus or bail herself out and get yourself into the shit. Now, you said probably since episode 2 onwards that you wanted Mira dead, and so I'm now wondering whether you've just come clean and just let Mira take the blame here so that she's got even less sort of protection around her.
No, I fucking threw her under the bus.
You threw your friend Sarah under the bus.
Yeah, well, she was cunting me off. The way I saw it was, I remember from the last one, she had the right ump with me anyway, because I fucking bribed her to get me into that fucking place,
Right.
and then blabbed to Tarwick anyway. I absolutely fucked her over.
So she's not going to get married to Tarwick then, is that off?
No, it's all off, mate. It's all gone. So she's got nothing going for her, Sarah. And yeah, she just went. And I just went, nah, she wanted me to get in there. It was all. And she was like, fucking hell, you arsehole.
Yeah,
I was like, well.
got to be done.
Yeah.
Got to be done. Well, that's interesting because in my one I went the complete opposite. So I said I took the brunt of it and thought, well, Marjorie's been useless pretty much throughout this process. Might as well go it alone. Sarah's not done much wrong. Looks like she's going to go off and marry Tarwick. So that won't see yet, but if it ever manifests itself in season 2, we'll see what happens. So I'm on my own. Presumably you've still got you're still Marjorie's handmaiden.
Well,
or is
yeah.
Has the rug been pulled from that as well, and it's forced you down
No, like we have a little get together and she thanks me for my honesty and everything, and I've completely fucking blagged it away. I thought I've absolutely pocketed it here. So I've been able to throw Sarah under the bus, get her out of my way, and staying close to Marjorie, and then Marjorie goes, well, there's rumours you killed a guard. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
That come back to bite me. She was like, oh, I need to distance myself from you until you clear your name.
So she's binned you off anyway.
Yeah, so I did all that, was truthful to her, and she went,
It's absolutely just threw you under the bus. See, in my one, it was that little coal boy bastard that comes along. He rocks up and says you're under suspicion for... Oh, no, actually, it's Sarah. Sorry, Sarah comes back and says, thanks for being honest, even though she's fucked me over. You're under suspicion for murdering that guard. And I thought, well, that's episode 2 coming back to bite. Little coal boy rocks up, and we're outside the room of Mira. And I took the knife, didn't I, and hid it in my room.
I wondered I was sitting there watching this. I was thinking, I wonder what happens when they search your room.
Well, so when the guards broke in, I knew it was game over. And essentially, what happens is you just try and escape stealthily. You just try and get out. And Tom says, "Oh, I've got some friends in the dock you can go and see." So I go, "All right, I'll go and see them." And then when you get outside, bloody Morgan turns up anyway. Right. So I would assume, despite you hiding the knife, you've still been forced into that confrontation with Morgan.
Right. I'm not going to get too much into it in this episode, but this is one of the little minor irritations. Minor
irritations? It's the whole point of the game sometimes. And it sounds like we're going down the same route anyway.
Exactly. So I fucking binned that off, because I thought I don't want that in my room, because I bet they'll search it.
They find it somewhere and go, oh, it's got prints.
Yeah. And even though I binned it off and there's no evidence, I'm still going down that same route. So I was like, oh... That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to see if you actually get taken away then or something, or you don't get... But it's exactly the same.
Yeah, so when you're en route to wherever you go... I was going to the docks, and
that's where I was going.
Morgan rocks up. He pays off one of the guards to leave us alone inside his little... I don't know what they call those things, little travelling things that he has people...
A travel cot.
A travel cot, whatever they want to call it. So, well, we'll call it that. I think that's actually a good name we've come up there for it. But he's been one of your few allies in King's Landing, but then... he reveals that he's double-crossed you, and he's looking at getting that fucking ironwood for himself. So He turns you into the guards. Well, my one he did anyway. And you get locked up, and you're on the block to get your head taken off. Now, he later, just before you're about to go out, comes with a proposition to say, look, if you marry me, you know, I'll get a share of the ironwood through that. We'll make an alliance. You'll be my slave, basically, but it means you won't have to take the fall for the guard's murder. Now, this is your chance, Logan. This is surely your chance to shut Morgan down and get Mira's head taken off. Did you choose to marry Morgan and take him up on his offer?
I absolutely didn't.
You said, fuck you.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was thinking, right, I don't know which way to go here, because I thought, is Mira going to be of any use to me? And I thought, thus far, she's been completely useless.
Yeah, get rid of it.
My whole goal in this whole storyline is to save Ironwrath.
Yeah.
Is she helping me do that? No. If I marry him, will it help me do that? Nope, it'll put me in an even worse position. Right, see you later. Get out of my life.
So actually, what happens? Because I said I would marry Morgan. I thought I'll keep.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought I'll keep her alive. Just that you never know what can happen. Poison him, something, you know, later on down the line, and deal with it. So what happens in my one is you go down to the execution chamber. They've got little coal boy Tom on the block, and they say, "Witness Mira, do you confirm these allegations are true?" She nods her head. Tom gets his head taken off, dead.
Oh.
And then that draws a close to that kind of part of the timeline. So Mira then just goes off, and you think presumably he's going to be Morgan's wife. So in your one, what happens? Does she get killed, or do you get away? How does it all pan out?
So basically, I mean, let me just put some perspective into this. I would actually rather, I mean, you get the choice as well.
Yeah.
Whether you want your head or his head cut off, and I actually prefer to save Tom. That is how much I hate this storyline or this story arc of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically you just go, nah, fuck you, and then you get carted off.
Yeah.
And you walk up, and then not a lot really happens. Really, you just sort of walk up, and they go, and then Morgan says something, and then you get a chance to stand tall or spit on him, and then you get to say final words, and I just said, I'm from ice, and then you get your head fucking lumped off.
So that's it, she's gone.
Nothing really happens. I was thinking maybe Marjorie might come out and save me. Maybe I'm not going to get my head chopped off.
Well, I suppose Marjorie's proved useless there.
Yeah.
Because your head's been taken off. But we just complained about it not being the same. That is at least one instance where it's completely different. Because in my one, Mira's going to be alive, and your one, presumably, she's gone for good. And,
the thing is, that's what I mean. I don't want to lead on. You say the next one. It's not.
Yeah. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, the one timeline we dislike the most probably has the most polarising ending, depending on what you choose. It's actually a big difference.
Yeah, so you basically can
keep her
carry
alive,
over, keep her over, or bin her.
Bin her off. So
binder.
Well, at least you stuck to your word on that one.
Yeah.
Let's crack on to Garrod. I don't know how they've dragged this one out for 6 episodes, but you're at the brink of finding the North Grove. Cotter's in a bad way. He is really struggling. I'm not sure why that small wound has manifested into an absolute mess that it is, but
half his shoulder's gone.
Yeah, his bones hanging out and all sorts.
Away,
yeah,
disease that's eating away his fucking body.
He's a dirty bastard, to be fair. But you rock up at the North Grove. You discover basically the leaders of this kind of clan are actually Lord Gregor's bastards who he'd hidden away. And another twist is that they're using blood magic to control people who have passed away. And essentially, they're using these. I think they're dead people, or formerly dead people, as an army. Cotter's brown bread, he's done for, out of the game. His sister Sylvie gives you some poison, says, look, put him out of his misery if you get a chance. When you go into the chamber to find him, you're offered the chance to either poison him or butcher the bastard for blood magic so he can be used to join the North Grove army. What did you do here? I've got a suspicion that you've just butchered the bastard.
I don't know why you think I'd do something like that.
Did you poison him?
Nah.
I butchered him. Yeah, I did as well.
Well, the way I saw it was, I promise.
It's a waste!
Yeah, the way I saw it was, you can either not use him at all, poison him and appease Sylvie, or I don't really. Again, things have to fit into my end goal, which is for the better of Ironwrath.
Yeah, exactly.
I made that promise to myself, so Yeah, it seemed stupid not to do it. So I thought I need these people to go back to Ironrath with.
Yeah.
Well, that's my goal at the end of it anyway. See what happens. But
Yeah.
and I thought, right, well, I need him to be a Baner. So she needed some blood magic done. So I thought, right, we'll do it then.
Get it done. I also thought, to be fair, once it had been done, they were going to burn the body in the chamber, and then,
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get away with that.
Sylvie's never going to know. But no, they cart him out of his fucking heart cut out,
Yeah,
and Sylvie sees it. And
Looks at it, goes, "You said you were going to poison it." Fucking cut him open. I was like,
well, went a bit wrong, unfortunately. Last choice you get is whether to stay in the North Grove or march south towards Ironrath. Based on what you've just said, I assume you said, look, let's march, let's get out of there.
I don't. On my thing at the minute, it says 54% have abandoned the North Grove. So
the wording they've used there, abandoned.
Yeah. But why are 46% of people? I mean, I don't know what you did yet, but what I don't understand what the point in sticking with North Grove is.
I stuck there, mate.
Did you?
Yep.
What are you doing with that?
Going back to the very first episode, what did Lord Gregor say? The North Grove must never be lost. I thought, if we leave this place, it's lost. Ironrath's gone. I saw that unfold. That was gone. That was all. That has been absolutely ransacked. We'll get on to that in a moment. That, to me, was dead. It wouldn't matter if we marched or not. They were gone. So, stay at the North Grove. This has got some sort of importance. Otherwise, Lord Gregor's sent me on a wild goose chase. I've trusted Lord Gregor's judgment here and stayed there.
Oh, fucking bin it. Get back to Ironrath. Keep that. I told you, the goal is to keep Ironrath.
Well,
if I ain't keeping that, the whole story's dead in my opinion.
I wanted Gary to do right by Lord Gregor. Tuttle, yeah. So you're going to be marching. Interesting. Yeah. Again, though, that's where it ends, so no real resolution. You don't find out how these choices are going to manifest themselves. This is obviously coming up for the impending Season 2, which has actually already been announced. But let's get back to Ironrath, the final timeline. We've both got Asher here. Lord Whitehill rocks up with his army, gives you back Roderick's brutalised body, lays down the terms, basically either submit and Asher can marry Gwyn, or refuse and they'll just come in and wipe everyone out. Now, not going to fly with anyone within Ironrath, so you discuss the proposition of whether you want to poison Lord Whitehill. They keep calling him Lud in this one. That was annoying me because they've been calling him Lord Whitehill all season and they keep calling him fucking Lud. Pack it in.
Stop Ludding.
Yeah. Poison him, which is a surefire way of getting him. He's going to be unsuspecting it, or risk an ambush and go for full-out slaughter. I went for the slaughter. The Pit Warriors came for a fight, and this is a chance to put them to the test. And I knew it wasn't going to work out, whatever happened. But what did you go for? Did you think, right, let's poison the bastard or slaughter him?
Yeah, I thought the best option for me to do, I thought, right, I was balancing it up. I was thinking both were a bit risky, but if I can sit him down, he's a pisshead.
Yeah.
He'll drink that shit, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So
went for the poison.
Yeah.
Excellent. So whatever option you seem to choose, well, I believe this is the case. So I went for the slaughter. You went for the poisoning. Just before you start, Gwyn rocks up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, give me your word that you won't do anything." I gave her my word to keep her happy.
What?
Well, I didn't want to setting off, going back to Whitehill, going, "Oh, they're gonna fuck you over." I was like, "Yeah, don't worry, I won't hurt him."
Yeah.
Obviously a lie. Like, absolutely. As soon as I got a chance, I let the slaughter commence. But I take it you just told her, no, I'm not gonna.
Well, she seemed to snuff me out.
Yeah.
She seemed to sort of know that I was up to something, and at the end, I just went, let fate decide.
Interesting. So, I obviously ordered the ambush. All hell breaks loose. I'll go through what happens there. You sit down with Pisshead Whitehill. How does that all unfold? You just convince him to drink wine? Does it go on a little bit, or how does
it goes on a little bit. You get a couple of interaction points, and he sort of, like, I was being polite at first, and he was like, "Right, what's going on here?"
Yeah, he sniffs it.
I was like, "Right, well, sit down, you fat cunt," basically. And he went, "Oi, I don't like," and I was sort of, fucking hell.
Can't win.
From one extreme to the other, and either way I can't win. I was like, Jesus Christ. But eventually he sits down, and they get the wine.
Yeah.
And he wants Asher to drink it.
Right, of course.
Before him. And I was like, oh, bloody hell. I was like, I can't be dealing with this. I've got to lose another one, have I?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fucking hell. And then his mum, Lady Forrester, goes, I'll do it.
I'll drink it.
Yeah, and you can choose between whether you go, no, I'll do it, or you just let Lady Forrester take it.
You let Lady Forrester take it?
Yeah, I was like, you've done nothing so far. I was like, Asher's more valuable than you, so I let her have it. She fucking died, and then so did Lord Whitehill.
Oh, did he drink it afterwards then?
Yeah, so Lady Forrester takes it, and then he thinks, that's fine then.
Yeah.
So he drinks it, and then they both start fucking crocking it, and then all hell breaks loose in there.
Yeah, so I imagine what happens is basically mine doesn't have that. So when I order the ambush, all hell breaks loose. So it just skips that bit. Whitehill gets away, gets outside, but that
What,
little
Lud
does, yeah. So Lud gets outside. I've put an axe in his back.
Oh really?
Yeah, but he snuffed out of it. Bump into Griff though, who's up for a ruck, and absolutely slaughter him, put him down. He's dead.
Oh, is Griff dead, is he?
Yeah, I've got he's with his little eye patch, and to be honest, he was the one I wanted because he's a right little prick. And we had a little ruck, it's like a quick time event. Slaughtered him, put his face in the fire, set him on fire, and then stabbed him. So he's dead. Cool. But when I get outside, it's all going wrong, and you can either choose to defend the town folk or to stop the gates from going open. Doesn't matter whatever way you do, the gates get breached anyway, I assume, on your one. Yeah. And they all get in and all hell breaks loose. Yeah. Lud, in the end, gets away though. So I guess on your one, it's Griff that gets away. Yeah. And on my one, Lud gets away. So I've got Griff put down, you've got Whitehill put down of the Lordness status. Lady Forrester gets stabbed, she gets goated and killed, so that's probably where her...
Oh, she dies as well?
Yeah, so again, they make her die, whatever happens, you don't think you can save her. Unless, I guess, you sacrifice Asher, but then I'd be interested to know what that third option's like now, to see whether you actually do get to drink the poison and he just goes down, or whether she just snatches it off you and she dies anyway.
I reckon it's probably that, yeah.
Well, I was basically, Lud gets away, I killed Griff's little henchman, that one with the beard who's getting on my tits all fucking season. He got put down.
Who's that?
Puts a helmet on and stuff. He's got a beard and he's like this sort of like Griff's enforcer. He's always there.
Oh yeah.
And he's holding Ryan. We've got to mention Ryan gets back safely. Beshka runs off with him in my one, and that's the end of that. So I killed him. Lud gets away. Then Asher gets absolutely slaughtered. I'm assuming this happens in your one. It looks like he's going to get absolutely finished off.
Yeah, I thought I was going to lose another one then. I was like, fucking hell.
And then I thought, bloody hell, Morgan's going to profit off this because it is going to be Mira. Yeah. She's going to be the last one left. And I was thinking, Christ, why did I do that? Luckily, the little Rottweiler Sir Royland come along and saved me. Got me out of a jam, comes along, tackles him, puts me on a horse, gets him out of there, and then Usher's sort of away, battered and bruised, much like Roderick is throughout the Merc season. I imagine he's going to be all bashed up. Did Duncan do that to you?
Yeah, Lord Duncan.
So I don't get that. See, my view there, if you ain't got Sir Royland, that shouldn't happen, because Duncan ain't doing things like that. He's sitting in his office going shit.
I think Duncan's got some balls. Not a warrior though.
No, he wouldn't have survived that slaughter that long.
But I'm interested to know the next bit.
Go on.
No, so Asher gets carted away.
Yeah.
And then what happens with you?
He just sort of gets to like a small village, drops off. I think Beshka's run off with Ryan, and then Sir Royland. It looks like Sir Royland rocks up, and then it kind of ends.
Oh, okay. Because Sir Royland rocks up on mine and picks me up off the ground.
And yeah, because he's a traitor in your one, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was wondering if it would be Duncan on your one.
No, well, Duncan's dead, isn't he? I put a knife in him.
Oh shit!
So there's no way. So it was Sir Royland in my arm. So maybe you get Sir Royland whatever then.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe Lord Duncan dies.
Well, I wondered what happens if I because I got a choice to put Sir Royland down, didn't I? At some point, I went nah.
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, maybe it's Duncan that rocks up then. But I think it is Sir Royland because I recognised his armour, but I didn't really see.
It was Sir Royland that rocked up for me.
Yeah.
But how is Sir Royland setting you off and then rocking up at the other end?
He's a warrior, isn't he? He doesn't get put down.
Gets ahead of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, well, he rocks up after I've fallen off, so it's almost like he's come afterwards. So he's not there already, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Bit weird that bit then.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch it.
Oh, no.
But Royland looked like he was alive in my one. Pathetic. That's the end of it. That's the end of the season.
Yeah, that's it.
Not a lot of resolution.
No resolution at all.
Which is disappointing.
Not any sort of resolution. You're not any closer to doing anything.
The only one resolved is Mira for you. She had her head taken off.
Put down, yeah. But do you know what? I'm still not convinced that'll be that as far as sort of King's Landing goes.
No, well.
No, I'm not.
Did you actually see her head come off?
No.
See, I'm wondering now they're gonna.
No. So you see the sword come down, it goes and her body rolls over.
Oh, so she's right.
She is dead, but you don't see her head actually get fucking taken off.
No. Disappointing. So then, a quick high level. I mean, there will be a review going up for this at some point. What's your thoughts on that? Because there was, towards the end, we had reasonably different endings there, but there were still some similarities where it's just like, what was the point in having that?
I think that's been the trouble with this game all along, is that there are subtle differences, but they don't seem to... It's like if you imagine an arc and it sort of goes outwards, but it's always then coming back into a similar point at the end. So I don't like how some things, like as we said with Lady Forrester, she drank the poison, but she gets put down whatever the weather by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Unless you're probably marrying, but I'm still not even convinced shit don't go down then.
I think even if you lay down, I'm sure something goes wrong.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't really like that.
But I think that is what happens in a lot of Telltale games.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not until you break it down at this, where two of you do it and you do things differently, that you realise that you tend to end up with a similar kind of arc.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably because I'm comparing it too much to The Walking Dead, but I cared about the characters.
Well, that's the main problem, in my opinion, of this one, is that you don't really give a shit. Well, I didn't anyway. It was tough for me to give a crap about anyone. Like Lady Forrester, that's the mother of one of the characters. You should be devastated, but it's like, it's in the way. Whereas in The Walking Dead, it did matter. Whereas maybe the choices were just as funneled when you break it down. I'm sure they were, but the journey to get there was certainly a lot more of a roller coaster and actually had a bit more of an impact. Whereas this was just I was going through the motions, going I'll just I'll go for the slaughter. Why not? What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, that's the trouble.
It doesn't. It didn't matter. I was thinking, I just want bloodshed. It just. Yeah. It didn't. There was no reason for me to try and play it safe.
I just think they've given you too many
characters. Yeah, I think
that's not even controllable necessarily. But the size, because for some reason they've been so intent on killing off all these bloody Foresters.
Yeah.
They've had to try and build a story into each one of them for you to then make a meaningful decision about them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work. Like, the story isn't deep enough. There's, like, in The Walking Dead, when you've got him and the girl, a lot of it, like 90% of it, is focused around them two and their relationship and everything.
Yeah.
And you don't get that sort of feeling for it in this, because you're constantly jumping from one to another, and they should have focused on, I think, the Foresters. Which they have done, but I don't think they should have worried about this whole King's Landing part. And to a certain extent, the bit with my memory's going.
What, Tuttle?
Tuttle, yeah. I think if they'd have just binned that off, and you're just concerned, maybe. I mean,
with the running of the house, just getting the house and dealing with the White Hills.
Yeah, and I don't even think Asher should have been a controllable character, if you like, until you don't need to do that whole bit for him. It just feels like they've crowbarred all this stuff in so that they can have all the main characters from the story in it. Yeah,
and make it feel like the TV show. It's visiting all these locations, and people are like, oh yeah, it's off the telly, but it doesn't transform very well into an actual game, because it's just disjointed, and everything's very flat. There's no real kind of substance to any of the timelines, really, and that's the struggle. They don't commit to any of them.
Yeah, because they're trying to sort of touch on everyone. That's all they do. They just touch on it, really. And then when you feel like you're starting to get into it, someone dies, and you think, right, well, and then I think to a certain extent, and I think my mindset is, everyone seems to be dying anyway. So what's the point in me caring about what decision I'm gonna make? Because ultimately,
can't save them.
I can't save them with any decision I make. So I think that makes me a bit more carefree with it. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it's certainly the worst Telltale game I've played, and I say worst. I mean, it was a bit of a stinker, but they were very high standards. A lot of the others, like The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, and Tales from the Borderlands. I've not played Minecraft yet, but this certainly ranks below all of those, which is a bit of a disappointment. But Season 2 will probably roll around in 18 months' time. What are you going to be doing?
I'll see where I am at the time. The thing is, it's annoying because I feel like I've still got unfinished business with it.
They've done that on purpose. So
they've done that on purpose. But
they're going to sting us.
I said to you the other day, I said, I don't feel like I'm enjoying it. It feels like a hassle to play it, and I feel like I've got to play it just so I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I won't pick it up, I don't think, when it comes out. I think I might wait until it's on an offer or something.
Absolutely, I think that's the way to do it, and just maybe check in some of the reviews and see how it's structured. If it's structured in the same way, then
And I've
that
got
would
a,
put me
I've
off.
got a
It
few
will be.
complaints about it anyway. I don't feel like it's refined enough.
Oh no, it's one of the worst performing ones. There's so many stutters and whatnot in it. It just doesn't seem. You're right. Their engine and this one in particular was terrible. Performed badly across the entire series, and there's no excuse for that really, because that should be now down by now. They're not even changing the engine. Come on. Change the art style, and it's cost them.
I think it's a bit disappointing, but the review will go up at some point, and we'll get our Dimp feelings across on it, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's close this one down then. Let people get on with their lives.
Yeah.
And draw a close to this series of Let's Talk Game of Thrones Telltale series. Thanks for joining me on these, Logan. It's been enjoyable to do all 6 of them.
No worries.
And we'll see what happens when season 2 rolls around. But nothing more for us to say here, apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.
House Forrester. They were nothing but Stark loyalists. And the Starks are dead. Are you listening, Reek? Father wanted to make sure they'd bend the knee. And what do I find? A child lord. Ethan the Bold. With his bulldog sentinel at his side. As if I'd be afraid. And I thought, oh, this is going to be fun.
Mira was so devoted when we first came to King's Landing. That day Cersei dragged her before the throne, Grandmother, I was actually worried for her. But she didn't have any trouble swearing loyalty to Joffrey right in front of me. Then she had the audacity to go behind my back with Tyrion when I'd clearly forbade it. And that day she pushed me to ask Joffrey for help when he ripped my dress. It was bold, I'll give her that. But I can't forgive that she used me. And now, with all that's happened, the gods know what Mira was doing behind my back. Grandmother, it makes me question if she was ever loyal to me at all.
I saw something of myself in Garrett Tuttle. I thought I could trust in him, Sam, but I was wrong. He gave me his word that he'd stay true to the vows he'd made in the Godswood. Yet before a day was out, a brother was dead at the foot of the wall. I needed his sword at Craster's. I defended him to Frostfinger, and it cost me. Whatever happened up there, a man of the Watch doesn't run away.
Who should return then? But another Lord Forrester. Roderick. Back from the Twins with balls so shrunken he let Griff Whitetail beat him into the mud in his own yard. Reek, I had to come and see this walking tragedy for myself. But he didn't even have the courage to stab me with my own blade. But then, he jabbed out that fourth-born's eye. He killed the man who betrayed him. I was rather starting to like him. A shame he didn't last longer. Roderick, the savior who couldn't save anyone.
There was something about Asher Forrester. You would have liked him, Miss Sandai. He was cocky, surely, but he wasn't uncharming. Asher needed my help. I needed to know if he deserved it, so I tested him. And he impressed me. He followed my every command, despite what it cost him with his companion. For that, he earned my help and my respect.
Loyalty, friendship, respect. Without them, we have nothing. I think, in the end, Mira came to understand that, Grandmother. She could so easily have turned on Sarah to protect herself. But instead, what she did, it took grace. If you're fierce enough, you leave King's Landing with your honor intact. Mira has proven that. But at what cost?
I could have told you this story wasn't going to have a happy ending. Roderick dead, his mother dead, his little pile of timber in ruins. I just wish I'd been there to see it.
That Bolton bastard let their upstart houses go to war, Father. I'm not unfamiliar with these Forresters. Stubborn to the end. They were clever, I'll give them that, but far too sentimental. Ruled by emotion when they should have been smart. Instinctive instead of shrewd. When will these Northerners ever learn? The Starks are dead. The war is over. And they lost